Welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. I'm Dan Thomas, joined by Craig Burley and Ali Moreno. Matteo Benetti will be with us a little later on to discuss Juventus' victory over Milan. But we start in Germany, to Klassiker. Bayern Munich against Borussia Dortmund. A massive game, not only because of the rivalry between these two sides, but it would go a long way, you feel, to define who will be champions come the end of the season. This would be one-way traffic, really, throughout the first half. But for this opportunity, 6 minutes in, Dahoud hitting the post, and then that would be it. Absolutely it for Dortmund, because 4 minutes later, Mats Hummels against his old side, 1-0.
1-0 and get comfortable.
Yeah.
You're going to see more. Poor defending from Dortmund. Good, powerful header by Mats Hummels. 1-0.
Makeshift defence of Borussia Dortmund. That shows how I do here with the error. Lewandowski making it 2-0.
Yeah, Zagadou had to go back to the goalkeeper there because he's actually tried to pass it through Lewandowski. I mean, he's only a youngster. He's only 19. Yeah. And it is a learning curve and a learning process for him. But that is a big learning curve. And that there just about summed up the whole game for Borussia Dortmund.
Just 2 minutes later, Bayern completely dominant. Berkey making the save here. Great stop to deny Lewandowski.
And it just felt like Dortmund were a step behind in everything that happened throughout the course of the match, including set pieces where they simply could not keep up.
Thomas Müller here hitting the crossbar. And then real trouble. I mean, 5 minutes before the break.
Yeah, that sums it up. With set pieces...
Javi Martinez.
Yeah, they took a quick free kick, a clever free kick. Dortmund had switched off again with a little clip over the top to Müller. Berkey makes a save. It comes out to Martinez. The goalkeeper is blocked here. Can't do anything about it. It's a super finish from Martinez, who we wondered whether he was going to be in the side or not.
And then 3 minutes later, Gnabry's having a great second half to the season, isn't it? He would make it 4-0 here.
A whole lot of ball watching. In that back line for Dortmund, it is a very nice header by Serge Gnabry, who gets in between defenders. Snap header. Good service from Thomas Müller. Still a lot to do, but Serge Gnabry stays in an onside position. It's a good goal.
And then in the 89th minute, Bayern would get their fifth. Remember, all those 4 goals coming in the first half. Lewandowski there with a simple tap-in to make it 5-0.
Yeah, Gnabry with the run-in behind again. And Lewandowski, like most of his teammates, played well, but I tell you what, he worked hard as well and never give the two centre-halves any chance to settle on the ball. And they were superb.
Bayern Munich 5, Borussia Dortmund 0. Just to confirm what that means, it's just a 1 point that separates Bayern and Dortmund at the top of the table. And you could put forward, I suppose, an argument that it is only 1 point, and who knows who's going to drop what points in their remaining fixtures. But this is such a massive body blow, isn't it?
Well, Bayern dropped some points last week, so you know it could happen. It's still on, but they were so bad. I mean, all right, Bayern Munich probably played their best game of the season, and Borussia Dortmund probably played their worst game of the season. They were even worse than when Tottenham cut them open at Wembley in the Champions League. But I don't think I've seen a side defend as badly as that for a long, long time. Not a side that's top of the league. They didn't string 2 passes together either. I mean, Dahoud had that shot that hit the post, and he never found another yellow jersey after that until he was taken off. Sancho never got a touch. Piszczek's been out injured. He came in, and Kingsley Coman took him to the cleaners. Gnabry on the other side did a great job. It was a proper going over. The set pieces as well. Every set piece looked like it was going to be a goal.
If I ever saw a team frozen by fear, this was it from Borussia Dortmund. They had lost this game even before they showed up in the tunnel. When you play like this and you're making the sort of mistakes that they're making, it's because you've come into this match expecting to lose. And that's why you can't complete a pass. Because you didn't just forget how to play the game. You didn't just forget how to mark somebody. You didn't just forget how to make a simple decision. You just show up on the stage, and the stage became so very big. And so when you are expecting to lose, coming into this game against a Bayern Munich team that says, you know what? Yeah, all right, come on here, let's play against us. We are the champions. We are who we are. You try to beat us, no chance, no opportunity. It was men against boys. It was a whooping. It was old school, old-fashioned whooping. It was only one team on the field, and it may be 1 point in the standings, but it feels like so much bigger than that.
How do you regroup if you're Borussia Dortmund? Because you say it's 1 point, but at the moment that feels like a big point after what happened today.
Yeah, and there are a lot of young lads in this Dortmund side as well, so that makes it more difficult, I suppose. But I think they've got, and Lucien Favre have got a coach that believes in them. And although he took Zagadou off at half-time and Weigl come on, he's a young man, and I think the coach trusts in these players. They just had a really, and I mean really bad day at the office. It's up to the manager now, tomorrow or Monday, whenever they're back in training, to say, listen, that's behind us. We get back to what is taking us to the top of the league, and then we try and knock it out between now and end of the season and see where it goes. It's not in their hands anymore.
Yeah.
But they have to hope that Bayern are going to drop some points. But I was disappointed because I thought it was going to be a much more even game. But it wasn't a contest.
Nope. No.
That's a big problem.
And so top of table clash then in Germany. Same in Spain today. Barcelona taking on Atletico Madrid. Atleti really need to win to have any sort of race in La Liga. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the crowd, of course, to watch the likes of Messi in action. Barca against United midweek in the Champions League. 14 minutes into this one. Jordi Alba with a chance off the post.
It's a beautiful look by Lionel Messi, picking out the run of Jordi Alba, getting in behind. Santiago Arias late to react, and it's just the finish that's missing from Jordi Alba.
Right then, well, Coutinho with a chance here. Jan Oblak, who was superb in this game with the save. Immediately after this opportunity that saw Oblak make the stop, you can just see in the middle of your screen. Diego Costa there catching Arthur, and then it's what Costa did afterwards. This is what he said, something very rude to the referee, got in his face, and it's a red card.
Oh, he should know. But I suppose...
This talk, is it for the elbow or is it for the... it's for what he said, isn't it? It's the dissent.
It's not for the elbow. It's for charging at the referee while you're reminding him of his mother.
Yeah.
That's what...
Yeah, exactly. Diego Costa sent off. Barcelona then with the extra man. They didn't really dominate the game as you would expect. Atleti sat deep, made it very difficult. Chance here for Luis Suarez.
You said that with 11 men.
Yeah, that's true. Sat deeper, sorry.
Yeah.
7 minutes then. Malcolm, who came on, forcing the save. It would be the 85th minute when Barca would finally make the deadlock. Luis Suarez.
And he hadn't been particularly clean throughout the course of the match, but there is nothing wrong with this finish.
Ooh.
Around Oblak, off the inside of the post, 1-0.
And then Solskjaer in the crowd, of course, to see how Barcelona are playing. They might want to do something about that number 10, Lionel Messi.
He just well, he panics here.
Yeah, stress. Very stress finish. It's over. Goodness.
So it finishes Barcelona 2, Atletico Madrid 0. It's done and dusted, obviously, in La Liga, but Barcelona are champions. Yeah, Atleti didn't really put up much of a fight in the end.
No, and whatever opportunity they had walked away when Diego Costa was walking off the field. And how incredibly stupid is that from Diego Costa? And he knows that he's a player that when he misbehaves, everybody's paying attention. Gee, you can't not run a referee and tell him what he told him. And then that's it. It's red card. And from then on, Atletico Madrid just barely hanging on, hoping for a set piece. It never really came. Barcelona comfortably won this game 2-0. In the end, it was all about Jan Oblak making save after save. That made it closer than it really was.
And a good thing, I suppose, for Barcelona, in light of the Champions League game coming up, is that when they went down to 10 men, as you said, they got way deeper than they normally get, which is pretty deep, and so therefore the whole pace was taken out of the game. And so, you know, from Barca's point of view, yeah, it took them time to get through and eventually make the breakthrough, but they didn't have to expend as much energy as they would have done had it been 11v11, and they were hitting them on the counter-attack. So that was a good thing from Barca's point of view with Man United down the line.
And we've talked at length about Champions League and Barcelona, of course, being one of the favourites, Lionel Messi being the defining factor. And I suppose what helps them now is from now until the end of the season, domestically, they can manage Lionel Messi in a way knowing that they've already won the title.
Yeah, and a fresh Lionel Messi is a different type of player, and he puts him in a different category in terms of what he can bring to the team. There were times today where Lionel Messi was walking, just straight up walking. But when he changes speed, when he decides to go, when he decides to be the player that we know he is, there's nobody better than him in the world. And so that's what Manchester United has to look forward to. A player that feels very good, very comfortable, very confident, and a team that essentially has just wrapped up their own league.
And the argument is that City are their big foes in the Champions League, if you like, and we know what their schedule is like between now and the end of the season, and how this obviously could play into Barcelona's hands.
It could, but City have I would say City have a better squad when everybody's fit. They obviously have the best player on the planet. Ronaldo fans will disagree, obviously. But they have the best player on the planet. But I would say when you look at City's squad, and we often sit when their team is announced, and we look at the bench and we go, wow. But it is a hectic schedule. They're still going for all 4. They've got the League Cup. They're in the FA Cup final now. It's neck and neck with Liverpool. And of course, there's not a gimme on the double-header against Tottenham.
Sure.
They face Tottenham in the league as well, I think.
Yep.
So if they're going to be successful this year, City, they're going to have to do it the hard way.
We'll talk about City in the FA Cup a little later on, but let's just focus on what else happened today. Real Madrid taking on Eibar. Wasn't a very good game. It was raining, so no one turned up in Madrid, really. 5 minutes before the break, Cardona makes it 1-0 to Eibar.
And Real Madrid had just an awful first half. They were broken to pieces defensively. It's good touch initially, forces Keylor Navas to go down, and then a little flick over the top, 1-0.
Take it into the second half. Karim Benzema finds his way through here, gets the goal.
Right.
However, offside's given. Right decision or not?
I mean, what? I suppose, perhaps.
He's anti-Madrid referee. Half an hour to go. Benzema, though, makes it 1-1.
He's in good form, isn't he?
Yeah, say that, Steve Nicol.
Yeah, he's been doing that quite often. Whereas there's been a lot of players for Real Madrid that haven't been playing well. Benzema.
And then, 9 minutes to go. Carbon copy, pretty much. He'd make it 2-1.
Whereas there haven't been many players from Real Madrid playing well. Benzema has been doing his job.
And then with 2 minutes to go, obviously Steve Nicol wanted to put this in.
Okay, all right. Okay, maybe that's not the one to show.
Yeah, so see, he got lucky with the 2 hitters. Oops.
Oh, man.
Oops.
It wouldn't matter, though. Real Madrid then win by 2-1. Just to confirm what all the action means, Barcelona are now 11 points clear. They'll once again be champions of Spain with 7 matches remaining. The race on, I suppose, if we can call it that, as to who will finish second. Atletico currently 2 points ahead of Real Madrid. Well, we welcome Matteo Bonetti to the show to discuss what happened in Serie A today, and no doubt the big one, of course, obviously, in Turin. Juventus taking on Milan. Let's take you through the highlights of this one. Moise Kean, of course, been very much the subject. A lot of headlines over the last few days. He would start on the bench in this one. 2 minutes in, Piatek with the chance. Suso playing it in.
It's one of the few good balls that Suso put in today, and Piontek, you really expect him to do better, given the fact that he's been so ruthless in these kinds of positions. There's no one marking him there at the back post. He's able to just get a little bit of separation, just puts it wide.
A couple of big VAR decisions in this game. Here, should this have been a penalty?
Absolutely, yes. It's been given consistently throughout Serie A. We've seen that. Even the fact that it's a few inches removed from his body. In Serie A this season, where's the consistency? That's usually given.
No penalty, though, was awarded. 5 minutes later, Milan do take the lead, and it just had to be Piatek.
He's the top scorer of Genoa and the top scorer of Milan. I don't remember a player being able to achieve that feat. That's the 21st of the season.
Let's take it into the second half. Penalty, Ali?
100% a penalty, and Paulo Dybala does so very well. And understanding he's going to get in front of the player, in between the player and the ball. He comes across him. It's a penalty. 1-1.
20 minutes to go then. Juve looking to take the lead for the first time. With a really good chance, but it's over the bar.
It's a good header initially, then after rebound, Moise Kean tries to jump on it, unable to connect.
But then, with 6 minutes to go, he'd make amends and score what proved to be the winner.
This is one of his first touch, Moise Kean. After everything that he's gone through, he puts yet another one through. That's 6 games now with a goal in each between Italy and Serie A. What an incredible story. An Italian hero.
Juventus 2, AC Milan 1. Of course, next up for Juve, it's the first leg of the quarter-final of the Champions League. They are big favourites to advance against, of course, an Ajax side who surprisingly knocked out Real Madrid in the previous round. A couple of big talking points going into this is regarding who is going to start this match. Has Moise Kean done enough to get in that starting 11 for Allegri?
He absolutely has, and Paulo Dybala continues to be the one big mystery. He did absolutely nothing other than drawing the penalty and scoring the penalty before that. He was one of the poorest players for Juve, and I feel like they've actually had one gear more when Moise Kean comes in. The biggest talking point, obviously, now, Cristiano Ronaldo. Max Allegri said he wants to play, we want to play, and we're just not sure yet, so he's doubtful on it. Pavel Nedved said that Ronaldo wanted to play against Milan, and they had to put the handbrakes on him to keep him away from it so he didn't re-aggravate what he had. So it seems like it's a doubt, maybe a 60% chance of him playing against Ajax.
If you're Allegri, how do you handle this Ronaldo situation? Because you know he's knocking down the door. He wants to play.
I don't care. I don't play him.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't take the risk. You've got alternatives,
yes.
good alternatives at the moment, who are playing well. You cannot take risks with a hamstring. All the eggs for Juventus now are in this Champions League basket. They've wrapped up the title, more or less, right? So they've arguably got one of the weaker teams, although we saw Ajax do a great job on Real Madrid. I mean, tremendous. And they're no mugs. Save him for the second leg. Give him some more days. Don't rush him back. You take a chance with a hamstring, you might not see him for the rest of the season.
It's an unnecessary risk if you're Juventus and you're Allegri. Why? Would be my question. And I don't care if Cristiano Ronaldo is knocking at the door. You just stay behind that closed door and say, all right, keep knocking, buddy. You ain't coming in. The truth of the matter is that you don't need Cristiano Ronaldo to get a good result in that first leg. And depending on what happens on that first leg, you may not even need him in the second leg. If you're Juventus, you have to have the big picture. If you're Allegri, you have to have the big picture. Cristiano Ronaldo is not going to have the big picture. He wants to play because he is who he is, and he's important and critical to their success. And because he is important and critical to their success, then you have to save him from himself. Say, Cristiano, right now it's not where we need you. We need you later on.
Meanwhile, from a Milan perspective, of course, a bit of a blow regarding their top four hopes. Atalanta, 1 point behind them, of course, they're in action tomorrow. We'll talk more about their clash with Inter in a moment. But from an AC Milan perspective, obviously they go into this game maybe not expecting points, but they feel they should have got something from this match.
Yeah, this is one of the first times that I can remember in years where Milan outplayed Juventus over the course of 90 minutes. It's not a case where the scoreline tells the tale of the actual game. Leonardo came out afterwards saying that the referee was an absolute disgrace, that there should have been a penalty on Alexandro. It was a very inexperienced referee, maybe not the personality to make such a big call in that stadium, because that was a penalty call that has been given every time this season in Serie A. Whether or not you agree or disagree with the interpretation of the handball rule, because it's not deliberate, it's irrelevant. That's not part of the rules. That should have been given as a penalty. Granted, Piontek scored moments later, but how would that have affected the game? Also giving a player a yellow, etc. So it was a real blow for Milan. 4 games now, 3 losses. They've been playing pretty dreadfully up until this Juventus game, and just really lacking an identity. I have no idea what Gattuso's trying to transmit to this team in terms of playing style, in terms of what kind of brand of football he wants. Okay, he wants to build it out of the back, but what next? Possession's fine, but what about incisive possession? And that's what Milan are lacking. That's why Piontek has had maybe 1 or 2 chances most each game.
They've got VAR in Italy, haven't they?
Yeah, so it's still humans, though, at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, but my point being is you mentioned the referee being inexperienced, which is fine, but I presume there's a more experienced official who's sitting looking at replays, who then didn't direct the referee to go and look at it.
No, he told him to go look at it, but this happened 60 seconds later. The referee was there waiting for the instructions. He goes to take a look at it in the monitor, and that's when I thought, okay, well, this is
so he looked at that?
He went to look at it.
Excuse me, because I was watching Der Classico.
No, that was that was a shocking decision. And by the way, wrong choice. Juve Milan topped the game today. All right, Serie A is what it's all about. Come on.
I was actually watching the title race.
What are you doing?
Matteo, everything was going so well, and then you just said that, and then credibility out the top.
Now, Inter, of course, in action tomorrow. Big game for them regarding their top 4 chances. The big question is Icardi. First home match, of course, since he's welcomed back to the team. What sort of reception is he going to receive? What sort of performance are we expecting?
It's going to be a nice reception. The leader of the Curva Nord, the Inter Ultras, told every fan, do not celebrate if Icardi scores. They didn't celebrate when he scored against Genoa in the last round. This is the first time, though, that he has to face 60,000-plus fans in the San Siro. And if he scores, he goes 7th all time, passes Christian Vieri. It puts Inter in a great position to hold on to one of the top 3 places. But I expect every time he gets a touch, because the Inter fans think the only reason he's on the pitch is because Inter are trying to inflate his value for the summer when they're inevitably going to sell him off. So they think that they almost sold their souls and forgotten integrity that Spalletti was talking about and all this nonsense to just put this player in so his value goes up if he continues scoring, and they get rid of him. He will get whistled every time he touches the ball.
If he scores a hat-trick, though.
Oh, well, maybe. Short memory, right, fans?
Fickle fans. Just a reminder of all your matches tomorrow. It all starts with Fiorentina taking on Frosinone, Udinese, Empoli, Cagliari, Spal, Lazio, Sassuolo. You, of course, have got Napoli and Genoa, and it's Inter against Atalanta. To Wembley we go then, FA Cup semi-final. Manchester City taking on Brighton.
He's getting some wear out of that sweater, isn't he?
I know, he really is.
It must be what do you call it? Superstitious.
There you go. 4 minutes in, Gabriel Jesus makes it 1-0.
It's a good finish by Gabriel Jesus. Makes the decision to go with a diving header. Controls it well, 1-0.
Now, 31 minutes in, controversy here. Remember, there's VAR in this FA Cup tie. Should Kyle Walker have been shown a red? In fact, it was just a yellow for both players.
Well, what he does, he slides his head. I'm kind of 50-50 with this one. I mean, a red card for stupidity, for sure.
9 minutes into this second half, this is the best chance. He just stays out.
You know, Brighton, you know, they were always huge underdogs, but they in credit them, they just hung in there, you know, obviously nowhere near as talented.
So it finishes Manchester City 1, Brighton 0. City through to the final. Quadruple still on. Ali, red card for you?
Not quite.
No? If the player goes down, though.
Okay, well,
then maybe you could have sold it.
And that's where I was going to. The fact that the player could have done a whole lot better in terms of, okay, once there is that lean by Kyle Walker, you take a step back and you go down, then that's a red card.
Yeah, the slide. If you go down, was the slide is happening?
They slid it down his nose, and if it had been Paul Mariner,
the contact would have been clear.
Definite contact there.
You would have been in the other half.
So, and I think that's why we were talking about it. I think that's why he probably took him off, because he got himself in a few more little tussles.
Yeah.
After that, there was a lot of verbals going on, and I think Guardiola will be saying to him, listen, cut that stupidity out.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
City then through to the FA Cup final. The game's tomorrow. What's it, Watford-Wolves?
Correct.
Watford-Wolves tomorrow.
Are you asking?
I'm just reminding myself.
Okay.
Plus, if you ever miss a show, you can download our daily podcast. To the Eredivisie, Milan taking on Ajax. Ajax, of course, in action midweek. We discussed it before the game against Juventus. 14 minutes in, Ajax take the lead. Donny van de Beek.
It's pretty build-up by Ajax. People running with the ball, without the ball, a little 1-2, a little flick over the top, header come across, and then a good finish. Nicely done.
10 minutes later, though, at the other end, penalty awarded. Daley Blind with a foul.
Just committed to the challenge, didn't he? Bit rash from one so experienced. Tried to pull out, but it was too late.
Isaac then steps up to make it 1-1. 4 minutes though to go in the half, and Ajax retake the lead. Freddie Heerkens with the own goal.
What an own goal that is.
Crikey.
I mean, if he's going to score an own goal, make it a filthy one. What a finish this is.
Here?
Yeah, the back heel.
Wow. Yeah.
Look at the back heel.
Into the second half we go.
Special.
Joel Veltman makes it 3-1.
I think that ball was from Tadic again.
It was indeed from Tadic.
He's really pulling the strings for Ajax these days.
20 minutes to go, Ajax seal the win. Oh, hit it a bit harder, old Ziyech.
I like Villain's uniform, I tell you that. Other than that, I don't like it very much. Yes.
That's the hot take of the day.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite a tight race in Holland, isn't it, as it finishes 4-1 to Ajax. Just taking a look at how things stand. Ajax 1 point clear of PSV, though do have a game in hand. Meanwhile, let's return to the Bundesliga, shall we? Bayer Leverkusen taking on Leipzig.
Leipzig?
This is a great game.
You really annoy me when you say that.
Why? It's like German pronunciation.
It just does. It grates with me.
Oh, you want to do it a lot more now. 10 minutes in. Kevin Mollen gets behind, draws a penalty.
And it's a penalty. He cuts it back, defender comes across, takes him down. Good call by the referee.
Havertz steps up, 1-0 to Bayer Leverkusen. 7 minutes later, though, who's it that take the lead, Craig? Or to get the equaliser?
Leipzig.
Leipzig make it 1-1.
Leipzig.
Where's the goalkeeper going? Where's the goalkeeper going?
6 minutes later, though, Bayer Leverkusen restore their 1-goal advantage. Havertz off the post and in.
Well, that's well done. On the turn, doesn't think about it too much. Curls her around, off the inside of the post. Beautiful.
Let's get into the second half. Timo Werner makes it 2-2.
Nice. Good player. Not going to be there for too much longer, I don't think. Keeper gets a hand to it, but not enough.
5 minutes later, Leipzig felt they should have had a penalty. Handball VAR. Tells the referee to have a look. Just take a look here. Just scrapes his knuckles.
What do we think? My goodness.
It's tight. It's tight. Penalties awarded.
I mean, it's hardly touched him, did it?
Forsberg makes it 3-2. And then this is the goal of the day.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Cunha. How good is that?
A little turn, a little pirouette. See ya. Take care. Thanks for coming. And then, whoops. That, my friends, is the definition of filth.
Bayer Leverkusen 2 then at Leipzig 4. Just taking a look at what that means in the table. Leipzig remain in third place. 3 clear of Frankfurt, 8 clear of Borussia Mönchengladbach. Welcome into Extra Time. I like this first tweet because of the ridiculousness of it. Are the discussions scripted?
Craig writes the script.
Imagine if we had everything on auto cue.
Craig's on the typewriter putting it all in for us.
Are you kidding me?
That's brilliant. Just even the thought.
Yeah, how can anybody think that Google YouTube is scripted?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Well, there's a brief outline of what
we have a rundown, basically, and then that is it.
Of what we're going to talk about, and then it's a free-for-all from there.
Yeah,
and it is.
And even though the rundown isn't really,
yes, it's very flexible.
Very flexible.
So the answer is no. They're not.
You ask me a question, then I'll answer what it says on the audio.
Yeah, exactly.
The role of saying
You're so natural when you read it too. It's incredible.
Yeah,
that's it.
Real natural. Could be a broadcaster.
I think they are a very good side as well.
Has Craig or Ali ever gotten a red for insulting the referee like Diego Costa did? Craig seems like the type.
No, I've had red cards, but for challenges.
Nothing for said.
No, because I never got that close in the face of a referee like that.
Correct.
That was part of the problem. My insults were usually from maybe a
safe distance.
Right.
kind of safe. But I kind of feel that we used to get away with saying some terrible things.
Right.
I don't mean like.
But you're saying they used to give it back to you as well?
Yeah, a lot of them would give you a bit back.
Yeah.
But no, not a red for that.
There are certain things that you can say to a referee from a safe distance that even if you're walking away and you're saying these things, and you can get away with it.
What sort of things, Annie? Given that your youngest son is here today.
Correct. I can't quite say it because Gregory's behind the cameras. I will tell you though that.
Would you go full on Spanish when you're angry?
Full on Spanish or English? I have. I have a good
repertoire.
Yes, I have a repertoire that I can work with in both languages.
Right.
It gets very creative. But you cannot do it as you're approaching the referee and get face to face with him.
Right.
That's just asking for it.
I've been booked for it.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I've been booked for verbals a lot of times. But
Right.
not. I think back a few years ago, you would have had to push the boat out pretty bad.
Yeah.
The referees were. I think they still are, most of them, kind of relatively lenient.
Did you get fines for booking back in the day? You used to get a fine.
I can't remember.
How did you get fined?
Yep.
Yeah.
I sure did. Tough times. Lean times.
For Matteo, even if Milan secure Champions League, would you prefer to keep Gattuso or replace him with someone more experienced like Conte, Gasperini, although highly unlikely, Pochettino? If you saw the show today, Matteo almost in tears that Juve beat.
Do you know how his name was mentioned with Milan?
Tell me.
Pochettino.
Yes, we just saw that. Just said it.
He just said Pochettino.
Just said Pochettino. See, definitely not scripted.
really toned
Because
in.
if it was scripted,
You would have avoided that
rewrite
mistake.
it. Come on, who's running that auto cue? Sort it out.
To answer Turbo's question,
Sorry, I should have been listening. I was being serious there.
I know.
So even Gazidis, the chief executive of Milan, is that right?
yeah, absolutely.
So he's keen on him. I just didn't.
On who, Craig? On who? Read that script again.
I didn't. I don't listen to you. You know that.
No, thanks. Respect. So, anyway, to answer Turbo's questions, thank you. I appreciate that, Craig. I can categorize.
Have you got to do that big baby?
Yeah.
Sorry, Turbo, we got to move on. All right, on to the next one. No, but Gattuso's not going anywhere if they get Champions League. They haven't been in the Champions League for 7 years. To replace him now, also realistically, who's available? If Pep Guardiola's available, obviously you replace him, but they're not going to get rid of him.
I hear there's some interest in Pochettino.
No, but why? Listen, Milan are trying to get to the Champions League for 7 years. Of course they're not going to replace him for Pochettino or Gasperini. The only time he managed at a big club, he failed spectacularly. So no, they're going to keep Gattuso if they go to the Champions League. Now, if they don't make it, okay, then I can entertain some of these changes and maybe a really good manager who's out there. And from that list, I don't know who's a genuine, true replacement that could give him a jump in quality.
Well, Pochettino's much better.
Is he?
He's been mentioned.
Is he?
Of course he is.
Sure? I don't know about that. I mean, maybe he plays a better
Hold on. The horses. Whoa, boy. Whoa. Are you saying Pochettino's not a step up from Gattuso?
Is he, though? If Gattuso gets Milan to the Champions League and all the players love Gattuso, what's a step up?
Let me give you an Italian coach then. Give me an Ancelotti.
Of course. You want to compare Ancelotti to Pochettino?
No, I just had to throw an Italian one out there because if he's not Italian,
that's
you're not buying a ticket.
Champions Leagues, though. I mean,
I know that, but you see, there's a reason that Man United and Real Madrid and all these people. Have you seen Tottenham's wage bill? Tottenham's wage bill is a half.
Okay, but this is the question is, if they go to the Champions League, why would they replace Gattuso to get Pochettino? I'm talking realistically now. Like, it's never going to happen.
No, I'm not saying that.
It's never going to happen.
I just said that wasn't the question.
Is he a step up? It also means going to a new league, learning a new language. So I actually have no idea if the first year where Milan now, if they're in the Champions League, would it be a step up where this guy can assimilate with the culture and everything? Gattuso, the players love
I'm sure he likes pizzas. Pochettino's a better manager than Rino Gattuso.
I don't know. In Italy, we're talking about Milan in this situation now. Is Pochettino more forward-thinking offensive manager?
Pochettino is a better manager than Rino. Ali?
Yes, 100%. And I also say, I am surprised. Pochettino has an Italian name. I thought that would be something that would convince you.
All these are
Gregory?
Gregory, what do you think?
Pochettino's a better manager than Rino Gattuso, isn't he?
Yeah.
I want to reserve judgment until they finish top 4, then we'll see.
I know he's not Italian. I get it.
Not that he's Italian or not. I don't care. If
Italian, not Italian.
I don't care.
You're not Italian. You're not.
By the way, Italian manager's pretty good. Last I checked, that's why the Premier League wants all the Italian managers.
No.
I'm sorry, but pretty good managers.
I told you to take this out of the script.
So I know. Seriously, who's writing my prompter, guys? Put this down. It's pretty much debate.
That German and Spaniard at the top.
So Italians aren't some of the most sought after managers.
Tottenham's got an Argentinian. Arsenal's got a Spaniard.
Why are you laughing? Tell me Italians have not been wanted in the Premier League.
This discussion.
Okay, well, I hope Turbo schmuck out what he wanted.
To be fair, they've had great success, and I'm sure Sarri will continue that.
I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying all of them. By the way, who got sacked before Sarri? Tell me. Managers that have a much higher clout. Jose Mourinho and everything.
Anyway. Why are you so angry?
I'm not angry.
It seems like you're angry.
I'm absolutely not angry. I'm just defending Gattuso. If he brings me onto the Champions League, I want to
hold on. You're defending the same manager, and you're defending the same manager. By the way, that in the show you were saying he's showing you nothing.
It's okay. First, the question is if he gets to the top 4, Ali. I'm answering as if they got to the top 4. Yeah. Then, of course, you have to give them credit.
I know, but you're defending the same manager, then the show you criticize because there's no identity to the team. So which one is it? Is it one way or the other?
Well, then we have to look at the team, the transfers, the fact that they've had 5 managers the last 4 years. How do you build continuity? Right?
You seem to be going backwards and forwards. Matteo, you're going backwards and forwards.
I'm not going backwards and forwards. We're talking about if he goes to the Champions League, you got to keep him. Simple as that. Anyway.
Would you guys like to revisit your opinions on who got the better deal between Pjanic, Higuain and Morata?
Oh, wow.
What was your opinion?
I don't remember. What was
I can't remember what the opinion was.
Please tell me what my opinion was.
I think we all thought Higuain would do better than he did at Chelsea.
I was all for Pjanic, so I don't know what the opinion was. Who had a hot take here on this?
I didn't actually have an opinion on Pjanic going to Milan because we didn't discuss it. What was the other one?
Morata.
Well, I don't think anybody in their right mind thought Atletico Madrid were getting a great deal.
I think the biggest debate was, can Pjanic do it in San Siro? Gattuso was never in question. Could he do it in the bright lights of San Siro with all those fans? Because it takes a certain kind of player to succeed at San Siro. So that was, could he make the step up? He's now Milan's top scorer, and it's not even been half a season. There you go.
Final question.
I don't know. We revisited our opinions.
How concerned should Pep Guardiola be ahead of the Tottenham game, knowing that Kyle Walker and Kun Aguero aren't fit? Obviously, Champions League midweek, isn't it? They kick things off.
Well, you know, I think
Aguero will play, won't he? I think that's why he's been rested last couple of games.
The Walker thing, Walker was going to, you know, I don't know, has Walker got a knock? I presume he's got a knock. Well, he took him off, but I tell you what, the best thing happened was for him to go off, because he was losing the head a little bit.
And that's the reason I think he may have been taken off, unless obviously there's an injury that we don't know about. But the truth is that I really think that there's been times in this sort of competitions where Manchester City have gotten in trouble because of a mistake by Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
Getting thrown out in this game would have been a terrible mistake, and one that would have given Brighton an opportunity that they didn't have otherwise. I think Pep Guardiola just said to Kyle Walker, go sit down.
That's it?
That's what it looked like.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's it?
I tell you what, they'd be much better if they're an Italian manager.
Well, yes.
Man City.
Hey.
They're not going to forget this one.
Who's they?
You can't bite every time. You can't bite every time.
It's too easy.
Just let them go.
It's too easy. Hey, same time next week.
I'll be here.
Same outcome.
5:15.
It's my prompter that's made it so these guys attack me. I don't know who's writing this.
Attack you.
It's the prompter. Whoever's writing the prompter.
Attack you. Oh.
We're good. I'm ready for it. I'm here for it.
You're just anti-Italian. Just anti-Italian, you lot.
Why do you think Serie A?
Right, that is it. We'll be back. You're not here tomorrow.
I tell you what, I watched the Classic of the day. That was a top game. Bayern Munich Dortmund. It was the only game in town. Oh, he's sitting over there gritting his teeth. I hate that bully.